Hi everyone, it's Amy from Cohuna Co here, bringing you episode 18 of Lunchtimes with Locals. So as we know, in the last few weeks, haven't really been able to do my normal Lunchtimes with Locals episodes where I go out each week and talk to a local person and go through a local business and that type of stuff. We're doing it coronavirus isolation style and using technology, using a program called StreamYard, which you can probably see in the top corner there. And it's quite good because I can bring in guests, which is great because this week I had 2 volunteers. Last week I didn't have anyone volunteer to be a guest on the episode, but this week I had 2 amazing volunteers, so I'll bring them on shortly. But I just wanted to say hi and to give a shout out to everyone. Leave us a comment about where you're watching from. Normally I can do comments. Oh, yeah, here we go. Leave us a message about where you're watching from and a couple of thumbs up. It's good to know if there's actually people watching. It gives us a little bit of feedback, and also Facebook then spreads it to more people, so even more people can see what's going on in Cohuna at the moment. So I'll put a little comment down here. Where are you watching from? Give us an idea, even if it's from home, if it's from Cohuna, if it's from Queensland. Let us know where you're watching from, and we'll give you a little shout out. A lot of people also watch the non-live version of this, so thank you very much, and still feel free to ask questions. I monitor the comments on all our videos and we'll reply, and we really appreciate everyone watching. So what's happening in Cohuna at the moment? Well, it's very much the same as a lot of other places or everywhere else. Everyone's doing the right thing, staying home, and hopefully flattening the curve, which seems to be working. There's a lot of parents homeschooling. There's a lot of businesses really pivoting. I think we're a bit sick of that word, but it's really what you have to do, and everyone's doing it so well. We've had a few businesses here who have taken the leap and got themselves websites and are selling things online and have really been getting very creative with what they can do to withstand this, get their business through this, and it's actually probably also going to help them in the long run as well, because the things that you build up for now online are still going to serve you in the future, which is wonderful. So without further ado, I'd like to bring on a great member of our local community. I would call him a local. He probably doesn't consider himself local yet in the old terms. I don't know how long you have to live here for to be a local, but he's certainly involved himself in lots of things in the community, contributes a lot, as does his wife, and they're just all around great people to know. So I'll bring on Shayne Mostyn, and he can talk about what he's doing during this period. All right, I'll add you to the stream now. Shayne, I'll take that comment away. Hello, how you going, Shayne? Where are you?
Thanks for the awesome intro.
Well, you know, I really appreciate volunteers coming on, so thank you for getting in touch with me during the week and saying, hey, Amy, if you ever stuck for anyone, you know, I'm happy to come on. And I just said, yep, lock it in. So that was really fun. So where are you watching from, or where are you videoing from today?
At my dining table.
Oh, dining table.
When you came here for Sarah's one, you walked through the house and...
Yep. Right there. In your beautiful smelling house with all those gorgeous soaps and things. It's so lovely. So how are you guys going? I mean, you've got a lot going on. I want to ask firstly about, well, first of all, you started doing some great workshops at Cohuna Co before we went into lockdown and had to cancel all events, and so the photography workshops. So now you've had to pivot, and how are you doing your photography workshops now?
So with everything that's happened, as far as the photography business as a whole goes, obviously there's no wedding, so we're not doing that. Yeah. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that. I did one last Friday for 5 people. It was the most bizarre wedding I've ever seen, but they were a really cool couple, and it was good in that you weren't pressed for time or didn't need to worry about someone sticking their iPad up in the air in the aisle and all that sort of business. So that was pretty cool. But as far as the workshops go, like, we did some pretty cool stuff there in Cohuna Co. The feedback that I've had and the feedback that you've had, I believe, is very positive. Like, we've done some pretty cool things there. But just before all this hit us, we were starting to do some stuff anyway with the iPhone workshops, especially. I think for the it's safe to say that the most people in Cohuna and the surrounds who are going to do that sort of a workshop have already done it. I think we've done, it'd be over 100 people who have been on that workshop. It's since I've been running it. So in a town of 2,000 people or 2,500 people, it's pretty cool. So I'd already started looking at doing these things online, and for someone like me who is fairly introverted, to then go and start doing this stuff online, and be on the other side of the camera, that was a bit of a challenge. So with the creativity side that I have, and the tech side, and the analytical side of me, to then go and sit on the other side of the camera, that was hard. So what I started doing was we started recording YouTube videos for basically to teach people how to do what I was teaching them to do anyway. So anyone who's been on one of these workshops, if you start watching the YouTube stuff that I'm doing, you'll say, "Oh, I remember him teaching me that." And the stuff that we did in Cohuna Co, I think, has benefited the people who attended those workshops, especially on social media. So I figure, well, people are stuck at home now, and I'm lucky enough that with Sarah doing what Sarah's doing with selling online, I can see how much of a benefit that's had when she can't go to market. So I figure we'll push these business ones through as quick. It wasn't something that I was planning to do yet, the business stuff, but so they're not the biz. They're pretty good, and you get the idea of what I'm trying to teach you. But look, I've got some really good feedback from it. People are certainly using it, and they're certainly taking photos of their products and putting them online, and they're getting good success from it. So it's working well for us.
Yeah, that's good. And that's the thing, like, this is probably something that you had in your mind, you wanted to do, and you knew, but often we sort of think, oh, I'll do that, but I don't want to do it until it's perfect, or I don't want to do it till I'm ready, or, and now we've just kind of been forced to put it out there and then just see how we go. And that's the thing that people don't realise. You don't have to wait till things are perfect. You don't have to wait till you're organised or you're an expert in something. Sometimes you just have to start, put one foot in front of the other. And I tell you what, Shayne, I've watched every one of your photography things, and they are great. I'm not just saying that. I'm not just saying that. They're so interesting, and that's the good thing about being online. Like you said, you feel like you've reached all the people in Cohuna that are going to do the in-person workshop. So then, how can you grow and use that as a base, and then grow? And you can reach anyone in the world with YouTube videos, and it doesn't have to be restricted to one locality. And that's the great thing about going online. So you can.
Sorry, go on.
No, you go.
We've only got a minimum amount of people who are subscribing to that channel so far. But the first video that I did was about the astrophotography, because that's kind of what I love doing. And that's hit like 700 people or so, and the amount of people who have contacted me directly from all over the world say that's awesome. I didn't know you could do that with the phone, and it's good. It's good positive feedback. The plan with all the video stuff at the moment, like YouTube, you can make money with YouTube, but it's a long way down the track, and you're certainly not going to make the king's ransom out of it. But what I'm doing with this is learning how, basically getting comfortable in front of the camera for one, learning how to deliver things properly, and then I'm taking it online, and as far as workshops that people will pay for. So I'm looking at Udemy and Teachable at the moment, those two platforms. Both of those, people pay for the workshops. People were happy to pay $50 for a workshop in person. So you're looking at half that, maybe a third of that, to reach a global audience. Why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah, exactly. That's right. And I love how the attitude of using this as experience for yourself as well, and then making plans for extending it in the future. So hopefully everyone, I'm not sure how many people use YouTube, but it's like becoming one of the biggest platforms, and a lot of people aren't watching TV, they're watching YouTube and streaming and things like that. So it's the place to be, really. And like you said, you could monetize this in the future, hopefully, and just take your business to the next level. So I hope everyone, if you're not on YouTube, just go, and I'll put in the comments Shayne's YouTube channel, it's called, and you can subscribe. And this could even be your first experience if you haven't really used YouTube for anything. It's not just for kids to watch video clips and things on anymore. There's so much out there, and I've been having to play around with it too. And I'm the same as you. Most of the stuff I do is just so I can learn and get an idea of what people want and practice and get better at it as well. So
it's
that's right.
YouTube is owned by Google, so it's the second biggest search engine on the internet. So there's really a few different ways that people YouTube things. One is like the entertainment value, people who are funny, not this bloke. People who are learning how to do stuff, like the how-to people, that's this bloke. So when I want to know how to do something, say we're not from here, even though you call me a local. So if I want to know how to do something on the farm somewhere and I don't know how to do it, I will absolutely YouTube that thing. I remember it on the Gold Coast before we moved down. The printing company I was working for had a big golf day. I've never played golf in my life. I YouTubed how to play golf before I went to play golf.
Really? You can YouTube how to play golf?
Absolutely. You can YouTube anything. You want to do a block toilet, YouTube it. It'll teach you how to. Someone there who has taught you how to do it. I guarantee anything that you want to know, you will find it on YouTube.
Oh, my goodness. I think you're right. We had a problem with our spa and I didn't know what to do. And I'm like, Nortons were a fair way away and it was a weekend and I YouTubed it, and some guy in America had done a video on how to fix the airlock in your spa, and I was so grateful at that point in time. So I think you're exactly right. It's so handy. I'm going to put a little banner up here if anyone's got any questions for Shayne. Oh, can you see that? Isn't that good? Yeah, because I think everyone's very interested in everything you're doing, and especially with your Windella farm. How's that all going? Your soaps, goats, and
look. Every time that something is posted about Windella farm, I always see it. She says, "We're doing this and we're doing this and I don't do anything. She does it all." I'll be the supportive husband, as you say, and when there's a hard to open bottle of oil, I'll open it, and when there's especially early in the piece, I'll take all the photos. But look, she's even been on the workshop, Sarah has, so she knows how to take photos. She's taking all her own photos these days. I rarely, unless she's in it, she's taking it. Yeah. So look, with the website stuff. Because obviously I do websites for people as well. And with the Windella Farm website, I built that and then said, this is how you do it. And I don't even touch that website anymore. She does all of it. So Windella Farm, like the markets aren't happening anymore, obviously. So she's just killing it online at the moment. She's doing good promotion. She's doing good collaborative stuff with other people like Bendigo Brittle. You probably saw that. She's doing great things. Yeah, kicking goals.
Yeah, excellent. I do. I'm in absolute awe of everything you guys do, and Sarah's even doing Facebook Lives a Wednesday at Lunchtimes, Windella Wednesdays, which I always tune into, featuring your product and also letting people know about like the new things like the online market in Canberra, is it? That's happening on Sunday.
On Sunday, yep.
And you guys so generously did a website for our Cohuna Farmers and Makers Market. So that's an incredible thing that you guys have done in your own time to set up a website for the market and to be able to host the other stall holders and benefit them, even though the market's been cancelled for now. So hopefully everyone recognises that, and what a great contribution you guys are making to our community. It's wonderful.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, and collaboration's another one. I was going to talk about that before, but like I told you, I sometimes forget what I'm going to talk about. And that's a really good thing I've been noticing. You guys have collaborated with Bendigo Brittle. That's so good. And they come to the Cohuna Farmers and Makers Market and have some other ties to Cohuna as well, I believe. But, when I did a live with the Tailored Peach, which is a women's boutique over in Kerrang, and they're collaborating with Mac and Mills, who are they're a wedding hire event floristy type sort of thing, and obviously their business has been decimated by this, so they're ganging up together or joining up together and collaborating and offering like Mother's Day packs. So there's if people can hook in with another like-minded business with the kind of the same target audience, then it can really benefit both parties, and I think that's really great to see that already happening in town.
You have to be open to that. Like you can't, especially where we are, it's a small community. You need to be open to that sort of work. I did, it was probably 4 years ago, a friend of mine in Melbourne, wanted to go on this photography workshop, and I said, well, this guy's an Olympus guy, and Olympus cameras are good cameras, but they're not the easiest thing to use. Anyway, the fellow who was hosting the workshop was an Olympus guy, and I said to my mate in Melbourne, I said, do you want to go on this? He said, well, come with me. And I went down there and I met this fellow, and he said, where are you from? And I told him what sort of work I do with the astrophotography work. And next thing you know, both of us are hosting workshops in Melbourne, in Cohuna here, I should say, with people from Melbourne. So every couple of months we would bring 8 to 10 people up from Melbourne who would never have come to Cohuna before, and run workshops out at Mount Hope. They stayed in town. It just worked. It's with everything that's happening now. And last year the weather really hurt us, even though it was very dry. The clouds, you can't see the stars, so you can't take photos of them. So look, that was a great success, doing that collaboration with Matt Crummins from Melbourne. He brought up all the customers to our little town. It didn't benefit me personally greatly as far as dollars go, but as far as the town is concerned, like, people were coming into town. They come back to town. I've seen people who have been on these workshops at other events like Big Cohuna Festival and stuff, and I'm thinking, you were on my workshop and you're from Melbourne. You would never come here before. And you're back.
Exactly.
So that's nothing but good as far as I'm concerned.
That's a good point you make. Sometimes we do these things and they don't benefit you directly financially, but, good things do come out of it, and you'll find that eventually, you'll benefit from that no matter what.
Absolutely.
It might be down the track, but through networking connections and opportunities that'll arise. So that's really great. Well, thank you so much for coming on as a guest. I better let Emma run now because she's sitting in the background. I appreciate it, and I'll chat to you soon. And if anyone's got any questions for you, they can put them in the comments. And I'll also put all your links in the comments, or you can put them in there if you want. You can put them in there, and we'll collaborate and promote each other's businesses. Well, I suppose that's a collaboration, isn't it? We work together.
Absolutely.
Unico,
Absolutely.
the product photo workshops and everything. So we're all had at that. That's great. Thank you so much, Shayne. I'll talk to you later and say hi to Sarah, won't you?
Will do.
See ya. Yeah. So thank you, Shayne. Another great guest that has come on and had a little go at our Lunchtimes with Locals. And I've been doing some stuff with Cohuna Co. I'm not sure if everyone's seen, but we've been doing a daily countdown challenge. We're counting down to the 11th of May, which is when the state of emergency is meant to be lifted. And we just thought it'd be a little bit fun to do a little challenge every day to help people. And what I do is a kind of a 1 minute, sometimes a little bit longer video with a tip or hack about something online for you. So make sure you get onto that. The ones that have been really popular have been the little tricks with your iPhone that perhaps people didn't know about, like how to use your iPhone as a scanner. Please follow along with that little challenge that we're doing, and watch every day and give us a little bit of feedback if you think that this interesting or if there's something you want to learn. So the challenge today for businesses from today's interview is to see if you could collaborate with another business. It doesn't have to be a totally local business. There might be someone that you could reach out to and collaborate with. So how about you have a think about that and see if you could reach out to another business in town and do a bit of collaborating, because it's just really good for everyone, as Shayne just mentioned. Now I'm going to bring on Emma. Emma is a barber. We have a barber in Cohuna, which I think is just the coolest thing. Hang on, let me see. You ready, Em? To the stream. Can you hear me?
Hi, I can't hear.
Oh, no. What happened to your headphones?
I had a phone call during Shayne's interview, and the sound didn't come back on. So do you want me to leave and then come back in?
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right. Always have technical difficulties, but that's all right. I'll tell you a funny story while we wait for Em to come back in. Last week on Friday night, I did a live stream. I was an interview guest with the Tailored Peach, which is the clothing boutique from Kerrang. And just as Erin added me in, her son walked past, and he's only little, and he just got out of the bath. And luckily he did have a towel on, but it was quite a sort of light-coloured towel. So in her camera, she thought that he didn't have a towel on. So she was like this on the screen, and I was so nervous beforehand, and then she added me in, and that happened, and it got totally rid of my nerves. So if you want to go back to the Tailored Peach live stream and have a look at that, it's actually quite funny. All right, I'll see. Emma's back. Let's see. Can you hear me now?
Hi. Yes, I can hear now.
Oh, that's great. How you going?
Yeah, good, and you?
Not too bad. That's good. Oh, technical difficulties always happen, so don't stress about that.
And I just want my introduction, so.
Oh, that's all right. I just said Em's a barber. I think it's the coolest thing that we've got actually a barber in Cohuna, and yeah. And Em is part of Cohuna Co Collective, and we might talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, Em, tell us all about you and your business.
Awesome. Well, I've been hairdressing for 18 years, and it was just been working from home because I'm a single mum, and it was just easier. So there was a point a couple of years back where I'm like, oh, do I really want to continue hairdressing, or do I look at, doing something else? And the barbering came up. So I enrolled in Bendigo and went there. It was good. I could take Noah to daycare and everything while I went.
Yeah.
No, 2 days a week, and then come back here and test it all out on my clients.
Exactly. So you're working from home in Cohuna, but obviously in your industry there's been a bit of disruption lately. So what's happened to you guys or to you?
Well, 1 minute we're told we only got 30 minutes to do a client, and everyone panicked, but like I kind of didn't, because I could do a haircut in 20 minutes. So but I did close down because I had both kids home for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when Lacey went back and school started back up again, I'm doing 2 days a week. So Monday and Wednesday afternoons.
Yeah. So Barber in Vogue. Check them out on Facebook. And something so great about you is, you can do, you've already got Facebook set up to do the online booking so people can see when you're available to book and everything. So I just think that's one of the easiest things that people can do. If they think I need a haircut or I need something 10 o'clock at night, they can check out and see if you've got any availability the next day or during the week. So that's something very forward, that I'm not sure if a lot of other hairdressers sort of use that, but I think that's really good.
I find it very, very easy. And my nail technician, she used it, so I asked her all those questions before I did it. So and it's been awesome. I don't need to talk to anyone, and people can leave, when they make an appointment, they can leave a note to say what they want, or if they're one of their kids is autistic or something like that, and it's a new client, so they write something on there, and so
good.
I'm prepared and I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. And business is going well, like flat out?
It has, now that I've started back up. Yeah,
that's good. I thought there'd be a few scruffy haired people around wanting a little bit of a tidy up, I thought.
Yes, although people say, well, getting a haircut is just not essential, but I think it's essential for your well-being to go and talk to someone.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. It is. And what's your motto? I love your motto. Can you remember? Something about, no, you don't just get a haircut, you get an experience.
Yes. Yeah. I don't just cut hair.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Noah. How are you?
We're here too.
Homeschool.
Yes, homeschool's been great.
Yes. Is that sarcastic, Mum?
School starts at 8:45 and we finish by 11 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly. You got the rest of the day to play. No, that's great. Well, hopefully everyone knows about your business now, and thank you so much for being part of Cohuna Co Collective. I think we've, got to know each other, and it's great to be able to bounce ideas off each other, and how about you try this, how about you try that, and also reach out when things are, a bit puzzling as well. So that's been kind of handy. But what I think you've done, and I just noted that down on my sticky notes while I was talking to you, is that you've found like a niche, and I think that's really important for businesses, not just at the moment, but always, is to actually think, what is my niche, what is my point of difference? And you've gone from the hairdressing, which I know you still do, but to go into the barber niche when something like that didn't really exist locally, then I think that was actually a really genius idea. And you obviously got the passion for it. You love it.
Yeah, I do. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Right. Great.
doing
And funnily enough, I've never really even thought about Barber because I've never really had to. But I love watching your stuff and learning about all the different names for the different cuts and the fading and all that sort of stuff. And I kind of wish I was a man for a day, because I would come and I would get the hot towels and, like, you know, someone, you know, grooming me. It would be so lovely. So if anyone wants to...
I wish I was too, actually.
It's so nice. I suppose I could probably come and make a booking and just ask for some hot towels on my face.
And it's cool because a lot of the younger generation are the ones who are getting their face shaved and their beard shaped and stuff like that. So and it's all new to them. Like the older generation have probably been to barbers and had it done like years ago, but it's the young ones, like, you know, in the ones in their 20s. Are the ones that have it done.
Yeah, that's excellent. And I love your makeover sort of before and afters. If you take a shot and then, you know, before scruffy beard, scruffy hair, and then after, I think that's really good type of stuff to feature on your Facebook page, and just to show people, you know, your skills and what you can do. So thank you so much. And it's an important thing, like you said before, the hairdressing and the barber experience is, you know, people come and they talk and they, you know, you're probably like a little bit of a counsellor really at some times. So it is an important, you know, social sort of thing as well. So thank you so much for being my guest today. And I'll put all the links to your Facebook page and everything in the comments so people can get in touch with you and give you some likes. And we'll chat soon, all right? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Chat soon. Bye.
See ya.
So aren't they just two great young business people in Cohuna? Get in touch with them if you need anything. Look up their socials, look up their websites, make appointments. There's so many great, vibrant young people doing some really cool stuff around here. So if you want to be a guest next week, or even just, I can give a shout out if you're a bit too nervous to come on live, that's absolutely fine. We're all just getting used to it, but it's the way to go. There's lots of eyes on social media at the moment, and people are really looking for connection. We're humans and we like to connect, and even if it's through a screen, seeing someone's face and hearing their voice, then that's a lot of the only connection that people are kind of getting at the moment. And there's people are really interested in hearing about their businesses and stories, and it's really important to get like your products online. Don't assume people know what you're selling or what your business can do. Even if you're posting on Facebook every day, just little posts, that's the type of thing that we can help. I love this sort of stuff. So I'll just be happy to brainstorm with people or give ideas. So just make sure you get in touch, support your fellow locals, buy local, and we're all in this together, and hopefully we can get through. So I'm just looking through the comments here. Wow, I've got lots of comments today. Hi to everyone who's been watching. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And to the people who are watching afterwards as well. Thanks for sticking with us for nearly half an hour. I'd love to have more guests next week as well. And you can talk about whatever you want. You can talk for as long as you want. But yeah, follow along all our Cohuna Co stuff. Sign up to our email, which goes out fortnightly. And yeah, follow along the challenges, because they're actually quite good. And if there's anything you ever want to know or want me to do a little video on, then I'm happy to do that as well. So thanks for watching, everyone. And I'm going to go back to my day job now, because it's time for me to go back. All right, appreciate it, and talk to you later. Bye.